how you go? So today on Big House Sport, we are back and we are about to get into something that is massive. This weekend, Premier League football starts up again. I am pumped! So what this series is going to be about is us talking about the 20 different Premier League teams, previewing their season, signings, losses, bit of thoughts, and where we think the predicted finish will be. Now, you guys can leave comments below if you think that I'm wrong or right, or what you guys personally think about the teams. But what we're going to be doing is 5 teams per episode, 4 episodes obviously, because there's 20 teams. So from today until Saturday, there's going to be a video out every day with 5 new teams. So do come back, click the subscribe button so it comes into your subscription feed. Anyway, guys, let's get started on this. This isn't in alphabetical order because I don't want you guys to just automatically know who I'm going to kind of put the winning or the relegation, stuff like that. So I'm going to kind of randomize it. Alright, let's get into this. Alrighty, so let's get started. Let's start off with Arsenal. I think Arsenal's a really good one to start off with and kind of get the ball rolling. Keep a top 5 team in there. And okay, let's get it. Stop talking, blokes. Just get into it. Just get into the prediction stuff. Gee whiz. As you all know, Arsene Wenger, still manager of Arsenal. Very controversial all the time, every single season. I don't know if you guys are as over it as me, but Arsenal fans just don't know what they want, whether they want to keep him or whether they want to lose him. Alright, let's get started on something that Arsenal fans all want to know. I know you guys already probably know this, but let's go into the signings. First off, we've got Granit Xhaka. Now, he's a central midfielder. Secondly, we've got Takuma Asano. He's a striker. Thirdly, Rob Holding. He is a defender. Out of those 3 players, I think we all really know who's going to be the kind of the predominant starter, the one who's really going to come straight into the team, and that's Granit Xhaka. Let's move across to the losses now. Starting off, Wozniak Szczesny. He's been loaned out. Mikel Arteta, released. Matthew Flamini, released. Thomas Rosicky, released. Then we have Isaac Hayden, who's been transferred to Newcastle. 3 loan outs, which is John Terrell, Julio Pliguezello, and Dan Crowley. Okay, let's discuss a little bit. Alright, so I think we all understand here that the biggest movement around Arsenal at the moment is Granit Xhaka. I think he's going to be a really great player for Arsenal. I think that this is what they've been really needing. He will really give that competition to Francis Coquelin, so that he knows that he's not a sure thing in the team. It does make up for the loss of Arteta and Flamini. Also, does give a bit of depth for if Cazorla or Wilshere go down, and we all know how much Wilshere goes down. The main thing with Arsenal, though, is obviously the striker. Now, I know a lot of Arsenal fans wanted that central defensive midfielder, but let's move along to the striker, Olivier Giroud. Now, he's got as much controversy surrounding him pretty much as Arsene Wenger. I find that everyone kind of understands that he's no Sergio Aguero, or he's no Harry Kane, or Martial, or Costa. He's just not that kind of player. He can score goals, he can, but is he consistent enough to really be pushing for the top of the table? Is he really consistent enough to put a whole season behind him and just do what Arsenal fans expect of him? Big clubs need big strikers. However, there's a player named Takuma Asano who you've just signed. He's only 21 years old, Japanese striker. Not someone who you'd recognise as a worldwide name just yet. So it kind of defeats the purpose of what I've just said. Takuma Asano has been phenomenal so far at the Olympics. 21 years old and a striker. He's someone that Arsenal can really build around. I don't think he should be starting just yet. No way. Sorry guys, don't get me wrong. I don't think he should be starting. In backup, I definitely agree. Do watch this space. Sorry Arsenal fans, but I'm gonna have to put you guys in 4th. I know this is a position that you guys are very well accompanied with. I just think that this season is going to be one of the closest seasons in a very long time. Tottenham, they bottled it last season. I think they'll be right back in it. Chelsea, they did terrible last season. I think they'll be back up. I don't know if they can win it. Obviously, City's going to be there, and I think United will definitely be back up there with the signings they've made. Next up, we have Stoke City. Now, there is massive news around this club. Don't know why I said massive, but there is big news around this club, and they really could be pushing for a bit of a higher position this year. Mark Hughes at the helm. There is one signing at this club that I feel that will really take Stoke to the next level and lift them up the ladder a bit more. The signings for Stoke City, Joe Allen from Liverpool, midfielder. Ramadan Sobhi, midfielder. Then we've got Ryan Sweeney, he's a defender. Losses, Peter Odemwingie, released. and Steve Sidwell, midfielder. Straight into the thoughts now. I think we all know who that big signing is, Joe Allen. Now, a lot of people might laugh at me for saying he's a massive signing. A lot of people might understand where I'm coming from. But I personally feel that Joe Allen was really, really underappreciated at Liverpool. I found that he was kind of starting to really find his straps. But then obviously he's been transferred now, and I think this is a massive pickup for Stoke. He's going to have players next to him, Arnautovic, he's going to have Mbula, he's going to have Shaqiri, and obviously you can't forget Bojan as well. And it's really come leaps and bounds from the team that it was good half a decade ago even. I was about to say decade ago, but really they were still that kind of defensive-minded setup about 5-6 years ago. But they really started to change the kind of functionality of their team, and they're not that I wanted to say prick of a team, but no, you know what? They're not that prick of a team anymore. Prediction time. First up, we had Arsenal 4th. Now we have Stoke, who are double that. We've got Stoke at 8th place. That's an improvement from the last 3 years at 9th. Really starting to push for those European spots. Not Champions League, obviously, Europa League, but it's really an improvement for Stoke, and I think that once these players really start to gel together, they will grow as a team. Third up, we have Everton. Now, these guys are managed by Ronald Koeman. That's a big step up from Roberto Martinez. I know Everton fans are going to have something to say about Martinez. Leave them in the comments below. Now, signings for Everton. 2 goalkeepers have come into the squad. Martin Stecklenburg and Chris Renshaw. Striker Basala Sambu. Idris Gueye. I know a lot of you may have heard that name too. The losses. I've just literally seen on my computer screen John Stones to Manchester City for 47.5 million pounds. Stephen Pienaar, Leon Osman, and Tony Hibbert all have been released. And the big one is Tim Howard. Look, he's been around the club for over a decade. He's been around the club for a long time, but he's finally been transferred back to his home country. Everton, they're the type of team that one moment they're flying high and you're thinking, wow, this team really could do something. Then a couple weeks later, you'll come back and you'll be like, where did it all go wrong? Koeman will be a massive change to that kind of thought process over Roberto Martinez. Koeman, I think, will really kind of balance the team out a lot more. Everton are a good team, but I just don't think that he was the right manager for him. Romelu Lukaku, still at the club. Fantastic that he's still there. I'm surprised that a lot of other teams haven't tried to come and snare him away. He's no Sergio Aguero. I personally feel he's the best striker of the middle-class teams. Along with Lukaku, another quality player for Everton is Jared Deulofeu. I think you all knew I was going to say that. One of the better players on the team. I do think that Koeman is actually the perfect manager for Deulofeu to kind of expand his potential as well. Tim Howard is a massive loss for Everton, but Martin Stecklenburg in replacement, you can't really scoff at that. Club legend for Everton. Everton fans will never forget him. Main worry for Everton is obviously John Stones. I'm not really sure who they're going to pick up for John Stones, but they do have quite a healthy sum. £47.5 million. That's going to get a quality defender. They could get a couple of quality defenders. With my prediction, I'm going to go with them damn bang smack in the middle of Stoke and Arsenal in 6th position. I think they will improve. They won't get to the position that they really want to just yet, which is obviously Champions League. But they're making groundwork. And number 4. I don't know why I put 8 fingers up then. 4 is Middlesbrough. Manager Ada Karanka. No one really knows what to expect from Middlesbrough this season, to be honest. They're one of the new teams. They got promoted, became 2nd in the Championship last season. They've made a big splash for the losses and the gains. Let's see who they've gained and lost. 2 goalkeepers they've grabbed is Brad Guzan from Aston Villa, and massively Victor Valdez, ex-Barcelona keeper, ex-Man United keeper, massive. Bernardo Espinosa, Antonio Barragan, and Jordan McGee in the defence. Jordan McGee is on loan. Victor Fisher and Martin de Roon in the midfield. Peter Resisto, Alvaro Negredo, on loan from Valencia. Losses: Paul Weldon, Jonathan Woodgate, Jordan Jones, Reece Williams, Damir Abella, and on loan Connor Ripley. Thoughts on Middlesbrough? Don't know too fantastically much about Middlesbrough, but I do know that they are the bogey side of Manchester City, so a lot of those higher top table teams are going to be kind of happy that they're coming into the comp. Manchester City fans, not going to be happy. Do remember the 8-1? They're a bogey side from a long way back. They've got a lot of goalkeepers. Dimi Konstantopoulos, Thomas Magias, Brad Guzan, Victor Valdez. I think we all know who's going to get that starting position. Victor Valdez. Brad Guzan probably in backup. But they've got a lot of keepers on their books. However, the best news, in my opinion, and I think in your opinion as well, is Alvaro Negredo. Now, I think we all will remember his days at Manchester City when he was alongside Edin Dzeko, Stefan Jovetic, Sergio Aguero. He can really really excel at Middlesbrough. He is a player that deserves to be playing for a quality club. And a lot of City fans were 50-50 when Negredo went. Will he be receiving the same kind of passes from the back as David Silva, Yaya Toure, Sami Nasri? Don't think so. By no means have they got a challengeable squad for Europa League or Champions League or the top of the table, but they've got a squad that is challengeable for remaining in the Premier League. And I think they're going to stay up this season. 17 is kind of fantastic for them, to be honest. Staying in the Premier League is a fantastic achievement just in itself. I think they have enough in them to stay up this season. Lastly, for episode 1 of the Premier League preview is Bournemouth. Last season they had a phenomenal season. They stayed in the Premier League, something that no one thought was possible at the beginning of the year. They had a resilient, strong, determined attitude and they stayed up, which is just fantastic for the Premier League. Massive signings for the club. Let's go through them all. In defence, they grabbed Brad Smith from Liverpool and Nathan Ake from Chelsea. He's on loan though. Then they went and splurged out on some midfielders. Emerson Hyndman, Liss Mousset, I'm sorry if I pronounced that wrong, Liss Mousset, Lewis Cook and Jordan Ibe from Liverpool. Then there was the losses for the club: Lee Tomlin, Matt Ritchie, Sylvain Diston, Stefan Zuber, Tommy Elphick, Josh Wakefield, Josh Carmichael, and on loan out is Harry Cormack and Glenn Murray. The fact that we're still talking about Bournemouth in the Premier League this season is commendable to Eddie Howe and the team. They shouldn't have. But they did, and they got 15th. So that's a phenomenal effort. Phenomenal effort for such a small club. Like, there's only 12,000 capacity at their stadium. A lot of people will return to the whole, they'll get relegated now because of second season syndrome, but I just don't think that's going to happen. Jordan Ibe, Nathan Ake, Brad Smith, Lewis Cook, big names for a small club like Bournemouth. That's not even mentioning Liss Mousset, who comes from Le Havre in France, second division. That place breeds talent. Dimitri Payet has spent some time there. Riyad Mahrez, Paul Pogba spent 2 years in the youth system there. Really exciting times for Bournemouth, but we haven't even discussed Callum Wilson or Benika Fobi. Wow. I feel that Bournemouth definitely puts more emphasis on the attack, and I think they definitely kind of revolve around the thought process of the best form of defence is offence. Although it'll leave them shaky at the back, I do think that Bournemouth really have what it takes to really kind of put a bit of a stranglehold on some of the top teams. I really do think that their attack is going to be quality this season, and I can see them troubling a lot of clubs. Really looking forward to see if they can shut the naysayers up. Let's put them in 14. I think they're going to improve on last season. I think that everything that's kind of come together in the off-season for them is really going to improve them. I know a lot of people might slate me for this, but stay tuned. I do think that they are going to be one of the best watchable sides in 2016-17. Anyway, guys, that is it for the first 5 teams in this Premier League preview series. We come back tomorrow for the next episode with the next 5 teams. This is going to be each day until Saturday when it all kicks off on Saturday night. Saturday day for obviously you guys over in England. Anyway, guys, thanks for watching. If you did like it, please give me a thumbs up so that I do know that you're enjoying this kind of content. Do click the subscribe button so that you obviously get those in your notification feed. Thanks for watching, guys. Catch you later. See ya.